Welcome to F1 News Today, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. Motorsport is at the center of all conversations this week, and there's one name echoing loudly: Isack Hadjar. The Formula 2 driver, runner-up in the 2024 season after a fierce battle with Gabriel Bortolito, could be on the verge of a major leap in his career. His time in the lower category seems to be coming to an end, as his current team, Campos Racing, has confirmed its lineup for 2025 with 2 young talents from the Red Bull program: Arvid Lindblad, arriving from Formula 3, and Pep Murti, who has renewed his contract with the team. Despite his exceptional performance, Hadjar is not part of Campos' plans for the upcoming season, a decision that has left many puzzled. Normally, a driver who has proven to be competitive until the end of the championship would be a priority for any team. However, this move has fueled speculation that his future may lie in Formula One. Rumors suggest that Hadjar could take a seat with Racing Bulls, a move that would bring him to the pinnacle of motorsport. According to these reports, Liam Lawson, the current Racing Bulls driver, would be promoted to Red Bull Racing to replace Sergio Perez, who is expected to leave his seat. If confirmed, this switch would mark a significant change on the grid for 2025 and open the door to a new chapter for Hadjar. Strategic moves like this are not uncommon in motorsport, where young talent and opportunities must align at the right moment. While Perez's departure and Lawson's promotion have yet to be confirmed, indications suggest that official announcements may be coming soon. These decisions not only affect the internal dynamics of the teams, but also the power balance across all of Formula One. For Isack Hadjar, a Formula One debut would be a significant achievement, but it would also represent a monumental challenge. Transitioning from Formula 2 to the elite level of motorsport is no easy feat, and while his talent is undeniable, the demands of Formula One are much higher. However, Hadjar has shown in 2024 that he can compete at the highest level, going head-to-head with top drivers like Bortolito. In this context, Racing Bulls could provide him with the perfect platform to prove his worth. The team, which has historically been a talent pipeline for Red Bull, may be looking for a driver with Hadjar's profile: young, competitive, and hungry for success. This move would also signal confidence in his potential to quickly adapt to the rigorous demands of the top category. Meanwhile, fans and analysts are eagerly awaiting any updates. Formula One is a constantly evolving stage, and changes in driver lineups always generate excitement. The possibility of Hadjar making it to the 2025 grid adds an extra layer of intrigue to next season. Moments like these are what make motorsport so thrilling, where strategic decisions and raw talent converge to shape the future of the sport. If Isack Hadjar indeed makes the jump to Formula One, we would be witnessing the start of a new chapter in his career, one that could establish him as one of the sport's brightest stars. For now, all we can do is wait and see how the events unfold in the coming weeks. Let's move on to the second piece of news. Formula One is getting closer to achieving one of its most ambitious goals: returning to the African continent. For years, there has been ongoing discussion about the need to add an African Grand Prix, as Africa is the only continent that currently does not host one. In this context, Rwanda has stepped up by officially submitting its bid to host a race, a move that has sparked both excitement and controversy. In recent months, Formula One has been actively working on the addition of new venues. Madrid was recently announced as a potential location, and negotiations are underway with at least 3 or 4 other cities. However, Stefano Domenicali, CEO of Formula One, has made it clear that his top priority is to bring a race to Africa. This goal now appears closer to becoming a reality following recent events in Rwanda. During the FIA General Assembly, held in Kigali, the president of Rwanda confirmed that the country has formally submitted its bid to host a Grand Prix in the coming years. This announcement, publicly supported by Domenicali, marks a significant step in the process. Furthermore, the FIA's annual awards gala, which will also take place in Rwanda, has increased the country's visibility as a potential destination for the pinnacle of motorsport. Rwanda's bid has generated anticipation for an official announcement in the near future, assuming the country meets the strict technical, logistical, and financial requirements set by Formula One. However, The project has also sparked criticism from some sectors, including several drivers, who question whether Rwanda is the most suitable location for an event of this scale. One of the main points of debate is Rwanda's economic situation. Although the country has made significant progress in development and stability in recent decades, it still faces major social and financial challenges. Building a Formula One circuit and the necessary infrastructure for such a large-scale event would require a multimillion-dollar investment, raising questions about whether these resources should be allocated to more immediate priorities, such as improving basic services or developing the local economy. On the other hand, supporters of the bid argue that hosting a Grand Prix could be a unique opportunity for Rwanda. In addition to positioning the country on the international stage, the event could attract foreign investments, boost tourism, and create positive economic impacts across various industries. Rwanda has already demonstrated its ability to host major events, and its growing reputation as a stable and progressive destination could give it an edge in the competition to be selected. The return of Formula One to Africa also raises broader ethical questions. On one hand, there is a desire to expand the sport into regions that have historically been overlooked. On the other, it is essential to ensure that the benefits of these projects reach local communities and are not solely driven by commercial or political interests. For now, the future of Rwanda's bid is in the hands of the FIA and Formula One's negotiations and decisions. If Rwanda meets the required standards, it would not be surprising if the country becomes the epicenter of a new era for motorsport in Africa. The international community and fans are eagerly awaiting the next steps. The potential for a Grand Prix in Rwanda represents not only a milestone for Formula One, but also an opportunity to showcase how the sport can drive development and promote greater inclusion on the global stage. However, the success of this initiative will depend on finding a balance between sporting ambitions and the social and economic realities of the country. Now let's move on to the last news item in the video. The possibility of Max Verstappen leaving Formula One in the near future has been a recurring topic of speculation over the years. As a four-time world champion, Verstappen has often stated that he doesn't plan to stay in the sport indefinitely. He's made it clear that when he stops enjoying racing, he will walk away. Recently, with the news that he is about to become a father for the first time, these discussions have gained new momentum. Fans and analysts are now questioning whether this major life event could lead him to prioritize his family or even take a break from F1. Fatherhood is a life-changing milestone, and Verstappen is no exception. In a recent interview, he was asked how becoming a father might affect his career or if he would consider scaling back his involvement in Formula One. His response was clear. He has no immediate plans to leave the sport. Instead, Verstappen is determined to find a balance between his personal life and his professional commitments, confident that he can excel in both areas. Having already taken on a fatherly role with Penelope, the daughter of his partner Kelly Piquet, Verstappen believes this experience has given him some insight into what being a parent is like. However, he acknowledges that the experience of becoming a biological father will be much more intense. "I already have an idea of what it's like to have a child at home," he explained. Verstappen also shared that, while his racing career is his focus, he plans to make adjustments, such as spending less time on activities like sim racing, to give more attention to his family while continuing to dedicate himself fully to racing. At the top of his game, Verstappen dominates Formula One with a combination of natural talent, discipline, and an insatiable hunger for success. Despite the changes ahead in his personal life, he has assured fans that his focus on racing will remain unchanged. For Verstappen, fatherhood will not be a distraction. Instead, it will provide him with an added source of motivation. "It's a big responsibility, but also a reason to push myself even harder," he said. Some experts believe that this new chapter could elevate his performance, giving him even more drive to maintain his dominance in the sport. However, the announcement of a child in the life of a high-profile athlete often leads to speculation about possible career changes. Rumors about Verstappen retiring have surfaced for years, and the news of his impending fatherhood has reignited those discussions. Still, Verstappen has been firm in saying that his commitment to Formula One is as strong as ever. He has made it clear, though, that he doesn't see himself racing into his 40s, unlike some of his colleagues. For Verstappen, the key to his longevity in the sport is enjoyment. "I'll keep racing as long as I'm having fun and feeling competitive. The day that changes, I'll leave," he has stated on multiple occasions. Verstappen's view of his career is focused more on impact than longevity. "It's not about how long you stay in the sport, but what you achieve while you're here," he commented recently. With his legacy already firmly established as one of the most dominant drivers of his era, Verstappen understands that his eventual retirement will leave a significant gap in the sport. However, that day feels distant, and he is focused on continuing to expand his accomplishments before considering retirement. As the motorsport world speculates about his future, Verstappen remains focused on the present. Balancing the demands of Formula One with fatherhood will surely be a challenge, but it's one Verstappen seems prepared to face with the same determination that has made him a champion. Whether chasing more titles or embracing fatherhood, Verstappen is committed to creating a legacy that goes beyond his victories on the track. For now, his focus remains sharp, continuing to redefine what it means to be a true champion, inspiring fans, and solidifying his place as one of the greatest drivers in Formula One history.